What we have here is a vintage box, or more specifically, a box filled with vintage Pokemon things. I also found this old CD from the movie. And so today we're going to open up this box, see what's inside, and we're not going to do all those flames shooting out everywhere and the little animated dollar signs as things get found. We're just going to take a look at some interesting things. You might notice that this CD cover is backwards, according to the opening side. It's because when I slid it back in, I put it on the wrong side. So here's a image on the inside. It folds out to a poster. And here's the old CD from back when CDs were the culture-setting image of the time. Back in the early 2000s, there was a lot of blobby, oblong, circular type imagery and a lot of bright, saturated colors. And I think that comes from the nature of a CD, you see. So let's take a look at this poster, and then I'll turn it right side out, if I remember to. Ooh, I'd forgotten about that part. That is pretty cool. It's reminiscent somewhat of the first movie to then see a whole diverse squad of Pokemon assembled to stand up to the disastrous legendary birds in the second movie. I guess it's not a poster, it's just some cool pictures. And then we have a little DVD menu. This is CD menu, excuse me, of the different songs that we have here and their credits. Pretty cool. Let's slide that back in on the correct side this time. Great. Now let's just crack open this box. And we have all kinds of stuff on the inside here. So let's see what it is first. I'll put this aside somewhere safely. Let's start with some basics, just a few old toys and old sweatbands. I think some of these things are going to get tossed. Some of these things are going to get donated to give some other children a chance to play with them. A few random toys. Ooh! Now this is Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber. But again, we're here for Pokemon, mostly. Not just to look at Star Wars artifacts, but this has a blade that locks in and is about the size and shape of the actual movie prop. This one's made of plastic, of course, but it's a fun thing to have as a kid, something that looks like a movie prop and feels in the hand fairly similar to it. We have a cool dragon t-shirt here. Let me know if anybody knows your kanji well enough to see what that says. And leave it in the comments if you can. Let's see what else. We have a Jurassic Park Lost World. What was that? The second one, I think. Unopened toy. How about that? Maybe we'll crack it open and run it through the sandbox a little later. Nah, I'm kidding. We might keep it sealed. Who knows? Under these cars are the Pokemon, so don't lose hope. That's what we came for. We just need to sift through some of this. Some of it's literally trash, like we have an old rollback Walmart bag. We have, what is this? Office Depot bag. It's kind of fun to go back through. It's almost like a scrapbook to open up some of your old boxes sometimes. You recognize things that you say, why did I keep this literal trash? I'm sure I had some reason. Maybe I wanted to try and make a lightsaber handle out of it, and it just got thrown into the box because it was part of the same area that I had it sorted before. You might find parts of things that you don't remember what they were. This might be from the movie Atlantis or Men in Black promotion. Not sure what was going on with the Happy Meals at that time. Here, of course, we've come to some Pokemon. Now this is a good little guy, Gengar. He's all transparent, or she, all transparent there, just like a ghost Pokemon should be. And we'll set Gengar aside. I looked these up online. They aren't particularly rare or sought after. I think each one maybe goes for somewhere between $5 to $15. In some ways, I think they'd be more handy to just keep around for the kids to play with. This was a pencil topper and is really styled exactly like the rest of these little figures. So I'll get these in a pile and then we'll photo them all together. The little photo shoot later. I do like this little motorcycle. I think it's not a Lego, it's one of those Lego knockoffs. And I don't know which one it is, but yeah, it's not exactly a Lego piece down there in the back. Interesting book. Unsurprising to find it in a book where there's a self-made dragon t-shirt. Got an old extension cord. I'm sure that's, what is that, for a blanket warmer, I believe? I'm sure that's completely safe to use these days. Decades later. Another piece here, another piece here. A lot of things to toss out. Any notes on here? No, just old, likewise, old trash things. Here's a neat little, I don't know what that is, but some kind of McDonald's toy. SpongeBob wrapper. Now this looks like, oh, this is a cape from a Build-A-Bear set. So this is a dress-up costume for a bear. Again, it's not the Pokemon stuff that we came here for, but it's still neat to find things. I like to do something when I find items that are maybe reminiscent of a nice memory or things, like a Build-A-Bear superhero costume, but are no longer something I'm going to hold on to. It's nice to let go of those things. Here's a beer drink from Dinosaur World. I'd been to Dinosaur World as a kid and went back as an adult and enjoyed a couple of beverages. It's nice to take a moment to have gratitude for those items, whether it's for your scrapbook or junk that you can't bring yourself to let go of. It's nice to take a moment to have gratitude for the enjoyment that I had of this thing and acknowledge that we're sending it off now because it no longer serves me. For example, I wouldn't want to keep this around for kids to look at the dinosaur logo and start associating alcohol use with fun dinosaurs. It's better to just let theme parks be theme parks, let dinosaurs be dinosaurs, enjoy them at the museum, enjoy them at the theme park, and then when they're in college or as adults, they might enjoy a beverage. And after they leave out of that partying phase, whatever that means for them, they can just go back to enjoying their dinosaurs at the museum, at the theme park. But there isn't a blending of the concept of bars and partying with dinosaurs themselves. So we're going to keep this out of the house. Long story short on that one. Which brings us, despite all those tangents, to the real name of the show, some Pokemon stuff. Let's go ahead and pull up this set of cars. Again, I think these old 1990s cars, these old cars from the 90s, I don't think they're really particularly sought after valuable vintage collectors items. So there's no reason to not just keep them around for the kids to play with. We might search a few of them, but we'll see. Ooh, that's interesting. We found a whole stack of Pokemon cards. We'll take a look at that in a moment. I didn't even know that was down here. The only things that I knew were down here, card-wise, were looking down. You see it's transparent down at the bottom. I saw that we have a single sleeved energy card. It's good that I had the foresight to keep this energy card in a sleeve. Protect it. Can go for 5, maybe 6 cents now that it's been protected. But I saw the back of this. I didn't realize it was a whole stack. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's check out these figures because, again, it's transparent, so we already had seen those. And, a little Togepi. That's a good one. Got a few Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon. Pikachu. This pair, walking all around Kanto in the anime, being outside a Pokeball. Similar, obviously, to Pikachu, we got our Raichu. And you can already see, you're probably ahead of me in spotting some of this stuff, because I'm just going one by one, enjoying the process. We got Bulbasaur, Venusaur. Yes, we do. And Ivysaur. And it looks like the Ivysaur, much like the Nidoking, is designed to go on the top of a pencil. So that's pretty fun. I see we have a Charmeleon. Charmeleon's one of my favorites. Something in the color, or maybe just watching it take on Aerodactyl in that one episode. Yeah, Charmeleon's always been one of my favorites like that. Let's see next. We got a Pidgeot and Growlithe. Now, Pidgeot also was one of my favorites. It had something, it has that commonality. It's approachable. You can catch a Pidgey almost anywhere. And through hard work, you can get yourself your own private airline to fly you wherever you want to go. 2 Moltres? What's the plural of Moltres? Moltreses? Moltrix? Well, we got it. So we'll figure it out. And we got evolved forms and under-evolved forms. Our other 2 that we saw, Pidgeot, Pidgeotto, Growlithe, and Arcanine. That's nice. These 2 are the same color in the shows and cards typically, but we've got some diversity there. A little more orange for one, a little more red for the other. I didn't mean to have Hypno, and I forget what the deer's name is, Hypno riding the deer into battle, but, well, that's ready for Christmas. Who else we got? Closing it out with our 2 bug Pokemon, dueling each other with hardening and no other moves. Ooh, another one of my favorites, Slowking there. That's also featured in the movie, and just a cool, powerful, tropical island entity. Another few miscellaneous. We got some rocket representation here, Meowth, and then Raticate. Where's Chansey? All ready to heal everybody up at the Pokemon Center. And this little ring is a nice one. Aside from that, I think that's all our figures. We got this little teeny tiny Star Wars guy. I really like these little figures, particularly. I don't know why. Got a little more trash, a few miscellaneous. Other than that, yeah, we got some interesting things here. Does this crack open? Well, anyway, that's the Pokemon figures. We'll take a look at these cards and see what we can find in there. But let's leave that for the next time.